Freddie here. I'd like to share a gentle yoga practice. This is going to be short and floor-based with a particular focus on lower back and hips. It's an easy class which is going to make you feel calm and relaxed, and anyone will be able to practice, including yoga beginners. Do it when you like, at the end of the day after work if you've been sitting for a long time, or in the morning to gently wake you up, or as a movement snack during the day. You can also use the sequence as a warm-up to longer yoga classes. So enjoy, take it easy, and let's get started. Lie on your back. Knees bent, bottom of your feet on the floor. And lengthen your arms alongside the body as you close your eyes, settling in. Gradually easing into this floor-based shape. Sense the ground beneath the body. How some parts and bones in your body are making contact with the floor beneath you. Go there with that focused attention that we call the awareness. And in particular, feel the area of your lower back. Observe that pressure of the bones in the back of the pelvis against the floor. The contact between the sacrum, the very end of the spine, and your mat. And if you broaden your observation to the sides of the pelvis where the hips are the point where the leg bones connect to the pelvis. So if you see if you can visualize the two hip joints at the same time. And now let's take a slightly deeper breath in and out. Gently deeper in, little longer out. One more time, fill up, empty, and let the eyes reopen. And now bring your knees all the way up towards the chest, lifting your feet, and place your hands here onto the knees for an easy movement. Don't make it harder than what it is. Relax your arms, relax your hands, and don't let them get away from the knees, okay? With the next breath in, let the knees float away from your body. You're still holding on to them with your hands. Your arms are straight. And with the next breath out, you can gently pull your knees back in towards your chest. In, extend your arms, knees away from you. Out, gently pull the knees in. And repeat that a few more times. Try to synchronize your movements with your breath and pay attention to that sensation in the lower back spine. What happens as you pull the knees toward you? Can you sense how the lumbar spine, that segment in the lower part of the body, is gently lengthening? Okay, last one of these knees to chest moves. Then release your feet all the way down to the ground. Have them as wide as the hips with your ankles beneath the knees. Lengthen your arms alongside the body. And just to test our bridge pose, with your feet pressed down into the ground, lift your spine off the floor, lift your hips and your pelvis and come up into a kind of a sloping bridge. Then lower down your body, your torso back to the floor. And try that again. As you inhale up into your sloping bridge, giving a little squeeze to your buttocks. As you exhale, exit the bridge all the way down. And one more time. In, opening here the front of the hips, and out. Let's add on, keep going. So if you lift your arms from the front of the body as you do the bridge all the way up and overhead, you'll get a little massage for your shoulders. As you breathe out, lift your arms again, and as you lower them down slowly, combine that with the lowering down of your torso. Few more times. In, pressing down through your feet quite firmly. Out, gently massaging the back of the shoulders. Once again, pay attention to the beginning and the end of each breath so that you can make your movements, each one of them, last the same length as each one of your breaths. And a couple more times. In, can you feel the lower back spine in the bridge and what's going on there in the lower part of your body? Legs are strong. Hips are moving. Last time. And finish here, taking a breath or two for nothing. See how you're doing. Okay, and then stretch your legs out and forward. Have them a little wider than your mat. And stretch your arms out and up. And also your arms and hands could be a little wider than your mat, like a starfish position. So from your center, stretch out through the limbs to your extremities. And now, start to draw your right leg and your right arm toward one another. And as you do that, roll off to your right side, keep going, and maybe your elbows and your knees can touch, tucking yourself into a little ball for a moment. Now, stay here, hold on to your legs with your right hand, with the left arm, make a circle over your head, a nice big circle, until you are in a little supine twist. Then make a circle again over your head. This helps you to release a little bit your shoulder muscles. And one more time, big circle entering the twist this way. And just the last time, back to the side position and into your twist. Now take a breath here, in and out, gently stretching not only the front of the shoulders, but probably your lower back area and tissues. Okay, and then make that big circle with the left arm to get back to your sideline position. And can we return to the starfish? So both arms overhead, stretch your legs out, little bit of a gap between the legs, between your arms, stretch out. And now start by drawing left arm and left leg toward one another, rolling off to the left shoulder and the left hip and maybe touching your knees. Yeah, just a funky way to get here. Hold on to your legs, right arm makes that big circle as you breathe in. As you breathe out, come out, and you're back here, sideline. One more time, in. Keep everything very easy, very relaxed, and out. Notice sensation in the shoulder, the front of the right shoulder, sensations in the lower back. And this last time, you're gonna hold the position for maybe a cycle of breath, relaxing your legs. All right, come back to that sideline position on the left. And then both arms overhead, stretch your legs out, starfish from your torso, from your center. Get wider. Okay, bring both knees up towards the chest. Use your hands and give your legs a little squeeze. And gently massage your lower back. All right. So now come out as you wish, maybe rolling off towards one side or to the bottom of the mat. Roll over into all fours position for a variation of cat movement, which beautifully stretches your lower back muscles. So here in all fours with all your healthy alignment, yeah, knees underneath, hips, hands underneath, shoulders. Look forwards, lengthen through your neck. Gently pull the shoulders back. And there's a little bit of a forward tilt with the pelvis. The tailbone is slightly lifting up. Then from here, tuck the tailbone and the pelvis right underneath you and pull the hips right back, right back. Sit down on your shins, soften your arms, lower your head. Lift your head straight away, slip the chest forward through your upper arms, long neck, slightly lifted tailbone. Exhaling, tuck the pelvis under, feel that stretch in your lower back as you draw the belly to your thighs, the head towards the floor, and again, in, long through the spine with an open chest. Out, tuck your pelvis under. Notice what's going on in the lower back area as you do that. Match the movements to your breaths. In and out. Keep going. Do a few of those. Maybe a couple more. That's it. Paying attention, mindfully moving, and getting rid of some of that tension in the shoulders, in the back, in the hips, in the lower back area in particular. One more. All right. And now when you are in all fours position, set up so that you have just a baby gap between the knees. And also, instead of allowing the tailbone to curl up, lengthen the tailbone away from your lower back, more like a tabletop position. Let's do a couple of hip circles. Strong with your arms and shoulders. Lift your right knee and leg off the floor, and as if you were making a circle, painting it with the knee next to you, draw the knee towards the upper arm, then lower it down. Ooh, how did that go? Do this one more time in a forward direction. Okay, keep your shoulders very still. Go the other way a couple of times. So first toward the arm and up towards the shoulder, then turn your leg a little inwards as you lower it down. One more time this side. Just an active variation of a hip mobility movement. Okay, the other side. So lift the left leg, turn it outwards, keep it high, draw and paint a circle in the air with that knee. One more. Lovely. And this requires just a little bit of effort, but nothing major. Yeah. Active movements are as important as the more mellow ones. All right, when you're finished with your circles, knees wide apart for frog pose. Pull the hips back. You'll feel a bit of a stretch in your groin. Go up onto the tips of your fingers like cupcakes. Stretch your arms out and forward. And maybe you have your head off the floor looking forwards, or maybe forehead down. Couple of breaths here. Little passive stretch for you. Not only for the lower body, this one also opening up the front of the shoulders. But let's get back to working with your lower back. So lift your head and you can lie on the front of your body, stretching your legs out. And we're going to do a series of Cobra poses. So from here, in Cobra, we would like to have our hands next to the chest. The shape of the arms are like a grasshopper. And we'll do 3 movements, first with the legs together, then legs hip width apart, then legs as wide as the mat. So this is going to be an active movement to strengthen your back, opening the front of the body. And you can start with your forehead on the mat. I'm just going to keep my head lifted or I'll cover the microphone, okay? So, legs together, hands next to the chest, grasshopper arms. Breathing in, press your feet down into the ground. Strong legs and buttocks. Lift your head and chest a little bit. Baby cobra, roll the shoulders back. Notice the effort in the back muscles. Breathing out, lower your head all the way down. That's 1. 2 more times. In, as you lift the head and the chest, you don't have to go too high. Try to engage legs and buttock muscles. Out. Then let everything relax. 1 more. In. Out. Okay, now quickly step your feet to your hip width. In. Lift your chest, lengthen the tailbone away from your lower back towards your feet, out. And the position of our legs is now as in the traditional cobra pose. We're just still moving. In, out. 1 more time. Okay, and then quickly feet as wide as the mat. Let's try this variation with the legs wide apart. Make your legs a little active. In and out. How do the different leg positions feel for you in your body? Be a little bit curious. Okay, now when you're done, maybe step forward with the elbows enough that they prop you up. A Sphinx pose with the elbows under the shoulders, the forearms parallel, and you can, yes, rock the pelvis side to side. Relax your buttocks, your legs for a moment. You'll feel a little bit of compression in your lower back. If we don't hold it too long, it's nothing. And now, try maybe turning your head and looking over the right shoulder towards that foot, then looking over the left shoulder, and 1 more time, right shoulder, left shoulder. And then when you're back in the center, if you press down firmly through your feet, your legs become more alive, yeah, your thighs. And then try to lift the front of your hips a little bit away from the floor. Your buttocks will have to work because you're doing hip extension. And then finally, for a bit of extra energy, press down through the elbows, open your chest, roll the shoulders back. And take another breath here. And then let everything relax. Open the elbows, lower all the way down. Okay, from here, bring your hands toward the bottom of the rib cage. Push the floor away from you. You'll be in all fours. Can you readjust the position so you have your knees underneath the hips? And then that cat variation that we did earlier on. So when you breathe out, tuck the pelvis under. You'll feel the sort of echo of the previous pose in your lower back, but that's why we're doing this as a counter pose. Long neck, breathing in and out. And you know, if you weren't able to do movements on the front of your body for any reasons, you could always substitute the cobra for the bridge pose. You could repeat that. Couple more times. How is it going? How does your lower back feel? 1 more. Last one. In and out. All right, have a moment now. Maybe you can rock the pelvis a little side to side. You can be a bit fluid and sway your shoulders and maybe undulate your spine as if you were a fish swimming in warm waters at the tropics. Yeah, something like that. Nemo fish. Okay. So this is lovely and brings your nervous system down. If you lie on your back again for the last few movements for you. So this is a variation of the knees to chest pose, a little different though. Bring your knees towards the chest. This time take your hands to the back of the knees, not just the fingers, the palms as well, okay? Secure this position. Then begin to stretch your legs out and up. Make your arms straightish. And can you see you're not letting your legs travel farther forward? Because this one is going to pull into your lower back muscles a bit too much. So legs should be in line with hips. They could be a little bit bent like that. Straighter legs. And then you bend them. Try that again so that we're setting up the movement of the legs. And release. Now, hands down, try stretching your legs out and up, and at the same time lifting your arms overhead so that they touch the ground. And then bend your legs and coordinate the two movements. They begin and end at the same time. Arms down, feet by the buttocks. Breathing in. Letter L, as in Lima. Breathing out. Knees into the chest, arms down. Repeat it by yourself. Concentrate on that mindful quality of your breath and awareness. Moving mindfully oftentimes allows us to get out of the head and be in the body so that we are more in the moment. And the mind clears while at the same time we're doing some lovely good work for our body. Last one. Lovely. And then place your feet onto the mat. Have no gap between the feet or the legs together. Okay, so we're just gonna play with the butterfly position, a variation, dynamic variation. So when you breathe out, splay out your knees like when you open a book, soles of the feet together. Good. When you breathe in, lift your knees up like an inch, like 1/3 of the way towards knees together. And when you breathe out, relax your legs and knees all the way down. Breathing in, lift the knees 2/3 of the way towards knees together. Then breathing out, relax everything. And then breathing in, lift the knees all the way 3/3, knees and legs together. And breathing out, go back into your butterfly, splay out your knees. Shall we do this one more time? A little work for strengthening work for your hips. In, lift the knees 1/3 of the way. Out, lower the knees down. In, 2/3 of the way with the knees. Out, lower the knees down. In, all the way 3/3, knees together, legs together. And out, all the way back down. Now stay here, take a breath in, relax your legs. And a breath out, let go with the legs. One more cycle of breath, in and out. With your hands, bring your knees back together. Step the feet as wide as the mat. Lift your arms all the way up and overhead. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. And then try this windshield wipers variation. Take the knees to the right of the mat. And then when you arrive, if you give a little squeeze to your left buttock muscles, maybe squeeze them a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, and you'll start to feel a nice stretch in the front of the left hip, maybe on the outer lower left body. And then relax, lift your knees, take them across the mat and over to the left. And when you arrive, squeeze your right buttock muscles. Keep going, squeeze right buttocks. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And can you feel you are producing a little stretch through the front of the right hip, the thigh maybe, right waistline. And let everything relax. And a couple of times. Take the knees across the mat over to the right. Breathe out. Breathe in, lift your knees. Breathe out and lower the knees. Just one more time, in and out. Get ready to finish. And when you're done, gently draw the knees into the chest. Give your legs a hug. Have a moment. See how you're feeling. How does the lower back feels? And your hips. And then just a moment of tension. If you lift your head and the shoulders off the floor towards your knees, tucking yourself into a little ball, hold it, hold it, hold it. Relax everything. And final resting pose. You could have your feet as wide as the mat and let the knees fall in so that they come into contact for constructive rest. That's a nice way to be. Check with your lower back. Or, of course, there's always Shavasana, corpse pose. So do the position that feels best for you in this moment, for your hips and your lower back in particular. And close your eyes. Soften your shoulders, your facial muscles, those around the eyes, across your forehead. Relax your jaw. Let go with your arms and legs and allow the floor, the earth beneath your body to support your final resting pose. And I'm gonna leave you here, but you could stay for as long as you like. Or you could just stay another minute. Or you can, if you need to go somewhere else, need to do something, you can finish with me. But you decide. I'm just going to say goodbye. And thank you for practicing yoga with me. I hope you enjoyed it.